Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Matthew, Watty's channel. Back in the game room tonight. I'm actually filming a video I plan on posting tomorrow, Saturday morning. So just this afternoon, I did get a new order from one of my favorite customizers in the UK. I've talked about him in the past, Stevebe19, no relation. His screen name on eBay is Stevebe19. That's Stevebe19. And when I've talked about WWF Hasbro custom figures, I think this might be my favorite Hasbro customizer. His stuff is absolutely immaculate. Just as good, if not better, than some of the original Hasbro figures that you've seen back in the 90s. Absolutely brilliant artist. There's one figure I'm crazy excited. So today was actually a unique day for me because it was a two video posting day. That wasn't the plan, actually. I only wanted to post my tournament video this morning, and then a few hours later I came out and I posted a video for the David Garland stands. I really wanted to get that shout out video done as quickly as possible, so I think originally I was probably going to do it for Saturday, but I was just too excited. Same thing with these. This was originally scheduled to be shown on Sunday, but I want to get it out as quickly as possible and give a shout out to Steven and give you guys a new look at some of these absolutely amazing figures. The first one I was crazy excited about, and if I ever get another one of these figures, I want to do like another, who did it best type of deal with Hasbro as opposed to the LJN figures. So we can at least look at the original and the custom, but man, this figure, when I think of this particular character, this is exactly the look I was hoping for. And it is the Giant Gonzalez. So recently in some of my videos, in a lot of my manager videos, I've been talking about like the Bobby Heenan elf custom, and I've talked about how I've got a number of elves or Santa Claus characters for LJN, and how probably this coming winter I'm going to make some special videos surrounding Christmas themed LJN action figures. And with a couple of figures I acquired today, I might actually have a couple of horror-based themed figures that I could probably show off for Halloween. Now, you might not think that the Giant Gonzalez is necessarily a horror-based character, but look at this. When I look at this figure and I think about the Giant Gonzalez when he first appeared back in '93, I was watching that Royal Rumble. I think we had order pay-per-view for it. And when he came down the aisle, he looked like a giant Sasquatch. He looked absolutely monstrous. Creepy, scary-looking guy. I absolutely loved it. Even as an 8-year-old, man, I was obsessed with that look. And the whole bodysuit, I was never, against that. To this day, I still like the look. I thought it looked pretty cool. But I think that bodysuit was supposed to imitate what Vince McMahon and WWF wanted, El Gigante, Jorge Gonzalez to look like, with the big, thick muscles and abs and everything. And maybe he just wasn't that muscular. That's why they had the bodysuit. I don't know. But I feel like this figure right here is exactly what they were probably going for. A scary, beast-like Sasquatch creature type. Now, I think I actually like the original Series 10 a little bit better as far as fighting pose because of the hands. But the fact that Steven took a figure and made it his own, kind of coming at you like when your parents try to scare you, right? And, that's exactly what this reminds me of, and brilliant. Absolutely fantastic artist. I cannot say enough good things about Steve. His work is incredible. And it doesn't appear to have a working action, which kind of sucks. But, I think with these custom figures, a lot of them are going to be stationary, where you can't even move the arms. Like, you might have a figure that looks like this, and it's like glued down or something. So, finding arms that actually move is okay. Now, you can see that the action does work a little bit. It's not like super tight or anything. You don't hear that real solid click when you raise the arms, but it works to an extent. It's okay. Not the best, but it's serviceable. The legs, the only thing I may not like a lot is the way that the legs kind of come into this, like this little pouch here, the little groin cloth or whatever it is. But man, as far as like, when I talk about horror-based or, Halloween-based or themed figures, yeah, this is going to definitely go on that list. This is absolutely remarkable. I'm going to do one more 360 spin on this, so you guys can get the full layout. And even the head sculpt, I mean, that's not the original Giant Gonzalez Series 10 Hasbro. So that really looks like Jorge Gonzalez, and just fantastic. All around A+, perfect figure. So the thing with Steve, his figures are a little bit more expensive than what you find from the average customizer. Actually, that's not fair either, because I have bought Hasbro customs from other stateside, customizers, sellers, and I probably paid $75, $100 or more for a particular custom. So maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe because he's UK based, and you're probably looking at about $30 shipping. That's why I always try to say, bundle up your figures, guys. If you're going to bid on any of his auctions and you win, try to win as many as you can. The only other thing I could say is, because this is someone that I personally trust, I would say, hey, you win one figure on auction, see if he can send you free shipping, pay for the item, and let him hold on to it. Because he's going to be posting more items, and it gives you more opportunities to win more items. So once you get a number of figures in, bundle them all together, you're only paying one shipping cost. So that will help you save a little bit of money. But essentially, a lot of these figures, they're going to go for $40+. And I think that Giant Gonzalez, I think I paid like $75 for it. I would have probably gone to $200. Oh, maybe not $200, but I would have gone very high for that one. Absolutely love that figure. I've been searching for that particular figure forever. And more importantly, my buddy Eric, I'm hoping to get the last batch of figures from him in May. And that's going to be a backlog of about 2 years worth of LJN customs. One of those figures are going to be El Gigante. It's going to be the Giant Gonzalez figure. And I'm praying it looks exactly like that, because that is immaculate. This next figure, I absolutely love this figure as well. Ever since I saw this particular character on Bone Breaking Action, I've been dying to get this particular figure in. I've never actually seen him wrestle. There was a recent Royal Rumble I watched, I want to say 2015 or something, where he made like a quick cameo, was in the ring for like a minute or two, and was tossed out. The only downside about this particular figure is that it's a Mattel Retro, and it's not an original Hasbro, so that kind of sucks. Obviously, as a kid from the Hasbro era, I prefer Hasbro figures over any of the other Hasbro style figures, to include the retros. But the overall look of this figure, a working action, another horror-based figure. Look at that. That is absolutely brilliant. What do they call this guy? Like I said, I didn't watch this guy in wrestling. I've only seen this particular figure through customs or through Mattel Elites or something. Boogeyman, was that his name? But Boogeyman, the face paint is again incredible. They throw on this extra hair. I mean, this stuff is like, I don't know what it is. It feels like a little plastic covering, whatnot. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like, fur or something, like a scarf or vest or something. But I mean, they've got it throughout. And the way that they even has it on the knees here kind of gives you a look of kind of like a motorcycle accident, the insides, the legs are all ripped open, and you can see the blood and veins. And oh man, this thing is just sick. Perfect figure. Absolutely love it. It is brilliant. Between this and the Giant Gonzalez, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you which one I enjoy more. Probably because I coveted the Giant Gonzalez for a longer period of time. Maybe I'd go with that particular one. But man, this figure is nuts. Love it. And like I said, when you look at it, you could tell. It's like who was it? Dean Ambrose? Did he have this body type? The guy with the blue jeans and like the white T-shirt and his arms were out like that. I think that was Dean Ambrose. So again, I said he has a working action, which is fantastic. Beautiful looking figure. So when I talked to Steve, when I bought these figures, we talked about the Wendy Richter Mattel Retro figure and how getting that female figure in now opens the door for him to be able to customize even more female wrestlers, possibly managers or what have you. So if you're ever looking for anybody particularly, I'm sure he has no problems doing commissions. But the Boogeyman joining the Giant Gonzalez, insane. I think they make both perfect Halloween figures. Perfect. What I like about this, it's twofold. One, they took a very simple Hacksaw Jim Duggan Series 2 Hasbro figure, right? And they turned it into something a little bit more unique and a little bit more fun. Additionally, I think about a lot of LJN figures that people are turning into Hasbros. I showed you the one that Robert Jackson did for me with the yellow shirt SD Jones. Turning Coco Beware into SD. Looks just like it. Fantastic. People have done Big John Studd. It's not necessary because now Mattel Retros has their own version of Big John Studd. But there were customs of that beforehand. Before Zombie Sailors came out with Bastion Booger, people were customizing that figure, and they did a remarkable job. Looks just like, or maybe even better than Zombie Sailors. Problem is, with companies like Zombie Sailors and Mattel Retros and all that, you're not going to spend $100 on a custom when you can get those figures for $15 or $60, depending on which company you're buying from. But they got those figures. I think I've seen people do Bob Orton, which is I don't like the Bob Orton figure, but I think that looks insane as Hasbro. I've definitely seen Terry Funk LJN into Hasbro, which looked amazing. I'm kind of looking at the shelf. I'm trying to pick out who else I've seen. I've seen Haku, I believe, and I've seen Harley Race, but it's not Harley Race with the jacket. It's like just shorts and boots for Harley Race with the crown built on. But anyways, this figure was not part of LJN, but he was originally scheduled to be released in Series 6. That never happened once Grand Toys shut down. So, 32 years later, whenever it was, Ram Treasures came out with their custom version of Bad News Brown. And it was finally able to add one of those characters that LJN and Grand Toys were supposed to create that never did. And now Bad News Brown from LJN becomes miniaturized to Hasbro size. And it looks fantastic. I've always said that the Series 2 Hacksaw Jim Duggan, if you're looking for a go-to playable figure, it's probably the best figure for use. It's got a nice bulk to it, fantastic fighting pose. The only reason Hacksaw Series 2, and you gotta specify Series 2 because the Series 9 Hacksaw is one of the most perfect Hasbro figures ever, but the only reason I listed it as one of the top 10 worst Hasbros is for the simple fact that it's a very simple color scheme. Black boots with, blue knee pads and blue trunks, and that's it. No color, not really. Now, Bad News Brown, again, you're taking a great playable figure in Jim Duggan, and you're making a remarkable character, getting a beautiful head sculpt of Bad News Brown. You give a little bit extra detail, and I like that a lot. So normally when you look at Bad News Brown, it's, black glove, it's black trunks, it's straight black boots. At least Steve put some added color with the white and black mixture in there, so it makes the figure pop a little bit more. With Random Treasures, I think that's one of the reasons I don't like the Bad News Brown. Not only with the one arm up, the pose is terrible, but as a black man with a bunch of, black color, nothing on his body is really detailed. Nothing really shines or pops. So if they mixed in a little bit of red or some white or light gray, yellow, something that's going to kind of offset the skin tone, it would have been a lot better. Understandably, you got to go with what the guys wore in ring, but small attention to details like that make a huge difference, and this is fantastic. Does the action feature work? It doesn't. It sticks a little bit. But, Giant Gonzalez was sticking too, and it started working eventually. Nah, no working action, but the arms are still tight regardless. You could still pose it. It's not like they're falling down, so that's good. Bad News Brown, absolutely fantastic. Love this one. This is a figure I didn't know I needed until I saw it. And this is another one of those LJN figures that are now Hasbro. And it is Mr. Fuji. So, a fantastic Mr. Fuji head sculpt with the built-on hat, which is incredible. They actually utilize a green suit Series 2 $1 Million Man, which is fine. I get customs of like Virgil, in that body, or you got Mr. Fuji in that body, etc. So, the action does not work on the left side, but it does work on the right, so that's good. Actually, I'm trying to think, does $1 Million Man have dual feature? I thought both of his feet... Okay, I'm wrong. Only the right side goes up, so... I was thinking both sides, both features work, but no, it's just the right side. Only downside about this particular figure, the cane is extra thin. So, if you are holding this figure and you kind of like turn it upside down, eventually this will fall down on you. Luckily, it's sticking in there pretty well right now, but when I've moved this figure around, the cane has come out. But, you know what, it situates in there really nicely. The overall penguin suit looks absolutely fantastic. Vintage Mr. Fuji 1980s managerial getup, and you think Mr. Fuji, obviously, Demolition. Then it kind of betrayed Demolition and then went to Powers of Pain. So it's kind of awesome to see a lot of Powers of Pain and Demolition, being created by all these companies for that regard. But I also feel like they're also kind of being like over distributed. So I like to see someone a little bit different. Mr. Fuji, again, all around grade A. This was a fantastic purchase. Only 4 figures this time. Last time we did a shout out video for Steven Watson. We got the orange singlet, Mr. Perfect, that came with towel. That one was kind of like utilizing like a Macho Man body pose. The 2 Steiner brothers that came with their Michigan jackets on. We got a Brother of Love, Ricky Steamboat. We got a Blue Akeem, Vince McMahon, China. And I got a Vader. I also got the 2-legged Kamala. I mean, I had some absolutely fantastic figures. I mean, perfect figures. And whether you're looking at any original figures or any customized figures, I would take pretty much any Steven Watson figure and put them against anything. They're that good. And like I said, if the prices were a little bit lower, like if I could get these things for like $10 purchase price, yeah, I would buy everything that he had every single day. But when you're getting up there to about $30, $40, $50, $60, $75 per figure, it kind of hurts. And like I said, with $30 plus $40 shipping, you gotta throw that factor in there as well. But so as of right now, those are the 4 figures I got in from Steven Watson. Stevebe19 on eBay, if you want to look him up. And yeah, I mean, I have him as a safe seller, but sometimes with if you're in the U.S. or maybe Canada, I'm sure Canada probably has the same issue. If you're buying from like a UK-based seller, it may show up as no listings available, but when you click on the name, it'll show up with like all these different listings. So that might be something to consider if you locate them but you don't see anything. Alright guys, that is it for now. I'm going to post this video tomorrow, which is Saturday, and that's going to be the 24th, I believe. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys are getting a kick out of the tournament video I posted this morning, as well as the David Garland stands posted later on this afternoon. And I guess the next video at this point, we'll go back to Monday Real Chat videos, and we'll progress through the week as usual. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will talk to you next video. Goodbye, everybody.